Hello guys, today the purpose of this video is to show you how to take apart the Goophone Y5. You're going to need several tools. For one of them is going to be a Phillips screwdriver, small Phillips screwdriver. You're also going to need a hex style screwdriver to remove the back plate from the Goophone. Okay, just these two tools will do pretty much the whole job. And actually, I will also recommend a pry open tool, so that you can get the LCD removed as well. This is called a pry tool. This helps to remove the LCD from the metal frame, which we're gonna get to that later. Okay. First thing we do here is first thing I want to say actually is that I don't guarantee that you may or may not break your phone. Again, you do this at your own risk, so please follow my tutorial carefully and make sure that you go through every step that I'm going to show you here. Okay, first you're going to power off the phone. Make sure it's powered off. Okay, once you powered off the phone, unfortunately on this phone I have an iron that I could have desoldered the battery, but it's not necessary. Okay, just be careful. Okay, so let's go ahead and proceed. We have here two small Phillips screws, one here and one here. This removes this plate, the metal plate, so we're going to remove those screws first. Try to keep them in order, please. This will help later on in the reassembly. Okay, when you remove these two screws, this one right here is going to be larger than this one, so just have that in mind. Okay, now carefully wiggle the metal frame until it becomes loose. Eventually you will be successful. There we go. We have now removed the metal cover for the connectors. Okay, so what I do is I keep my screws together with the part I take off. Okay, so now next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start taking the ribbons out. Okay, we have one for the camera. Now on the Goophone, the connector for the camera connects the front-facing camera and the back camera. Okay, so once you're going to take apart so once you remove the connector for the battery, now we're going to remove the connector for the LCD and the digitizer. Oops, they both came out at the same time. Okay, so there we go. You remove these two. Okay, and we have also removed the one for the battery, and there's one more right there. We're going to also lift it up. There we go. So now that we have successfully removed all the connectors, now we're going to remove one screw that is located at the very top, right here. Okay, we're going to also remove another screw that is by the middle of the motherboard. There are also two screws right here together with a plate. Those two have to come off as well. Okay, so let's start with the top screw. There's a hidden screw that needs to be removed. We get to that in just a moment. Oh, and I forgot to mention, which I already did, don't forget to remove the SIM tray. Okay. Here's the screws I'm removing for this right here. Guys, I'm sorry it's kind of dark in here. I'll do my best to try to show you as clearly as possible. Now, most of the screws that I just show you, they're almost all of them are just about the same size. So this is the other plate I was talking about. This covers the vibrator and another ribbon that we have right there. Okay, so we gotta pull it up. There we go. Comes right off. That simple. Then we have another connector right there, which this one connects the speaker. We're gonna also carefully lift that up. There we go. I have taken it apart already. Now there's two screws. This one was underneath the ribbon. There's one screw here in the corner, and then the other one is right over here. We got to remove those two screws. That will take the speaker assembly out. Just to add, the speaker assembly is the same for both the Goophone Y5 and the iPhone 4S. I also confirmed that because I've taken my iPhone 4S apart before and it's the same. Okay, you might have to wiggle a little bit here and play with it until you get it out. There we go. Here we have successfully removed the speaker assembly. Once again, guys, keep all the parts together. This will help you later on the reassembly. Okay, so now we see the battery. We still see the motherboard here. Now we had to lift up the camera. Even though we disconnected the camera, now be careful, be gentle. It might take some time. Lift the camera carefully. Take your time. Okay, because you can break or damage the ribbon. Okay, so there we go. I lifted the camera. Now, the next screw, the hidden screw, is kind of hard to take out. It's underneath right here. I have already taken this phone apart, so I left it out. Let me see if I can focus this enough. It's right underneath the ribbon cable right here. So you have to kind of lift it up carefully because that's the power button ribbon. And the screw is going to be underneath there. Okay, so you must remove it. It's a Phillips screwdriver. It's a, Phillips head. So once it comes out, that will actually remove the whole motherboard, which I'm just about to do. Okay. So now that we have pretty much removed all the screws necessary to remove the motherboard, now there's an important part here that must be completed carefully as well. Is that once you remove the all the screws, the vibrator right here has to be is attached with adhesive underneath. So the best thing you can do is you can get a flat screwdriver and go underneath it and lift it up carefully. As you can see, there we have it. I have lifted up the this is the same, almost the same as the iPhone. There we go. I think that's better. We have lifted up the vibrator. Okay, so once we do that, now we had to work on getting the power button removed without breaking it, because let me try to focus this. The power button is this ribbon cable, which underneath there's a screw. As you can see, the ribbon cable is soldered to the motherboard, and this is the power button on top. So we had to remove a screw right about this corner right here. You're gonna see it, and you gotta get the Phillips screwdriver, and you're gonna unbolt that. Very, very important. Now there are two, but you're not gonna be able to get to the other one, and you don't actually have to. So once you get that screw removed, you're gonna kind of like try to get it up, and you're gonna see the power button coming up as well. So now here you're gonna see this is a critical part. Now here, sorry guys, sorry for the focusing. Now here you're gonna see the ribbon attached to the plastic we just lifted up. So you got it with the flat screwdriver. You gotta lift the plastic, and now gently remove, separate the power button from the plastic. Okay, I will just show you that in just a moment. You will have the idea of what I'm talking about. Now once again guys, please do this carefully. You may damage your phone. There we go. I have successfully taken out the power button. Let me show you. This is the power button right here. Okay, it needs to come off from the plastic that we just lifted up from one corner. So it might have a little bit of adhesive, so you just get a flat screwdriver and go underneath it until it pops out. Okay, if you rip this, you're not going to be able to power on your phone, and it's pretty much going to be garbage. Even if you're connecting to a docking, that will still not power on the phone. Okay, so just be careful. That's the most critical part. I can't stress that enough. Okay, now once you've done that part, the rest is pretty much easy. It's just a matter of removing the motherboard from the frame. This might also require a little bit of time and patience. There we go. Now make sure that the ribbon cables are not on the way. Make sure the battery is not on the way. There we go. We have successfully removed the motherboard together with the battery. Okay, here it is. Now we're gonna set this aside right here. Okay, and there is the motherboard. Okay, now here is where we have the frame. Okay, it's very similar to the iPhone 4S frame. It's actually identical. Alright, so here we see the frame. Now the next thing we're going to do is just very simple. This is the same procedure as we would do on the original iPhone 4S. Is remove, you're going to see 4 Phillips screwdrivers in each corner. Okay, these are holding the motherboards in place. I'm sorry, not the motherboard, the LCD in place. So we see 1, 2, 3, and 4. Also, we see another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now these we can just loose up. We don't have to remove completely. Just loosen them up about this, like about 3 turns. That should be enough. Okay, we do the same thing on the other side. We loosen up just 3 of them. Okay, so once we lose all these, now we're going to lose the one in the corners. Now these you're actually not going to lose, we're going to remove the ones that I just showed you. Those are very tiny, so be careful. Okay, we are almost done here. We're removing the last screw in the very corner. Okay, we have removed the last screw. So now we're ready to take apart the front LCD. Okay, so what we're gonna do is the following. You're gonna get, here's where you're gonna need the pry opening tool. So we're gonna go from the very top. There we go, and you're gonna ride it along to loosen up your LCD. Okay, so now here the ribbons, make these 2 ribbons right here, make sure that they are straight, and when you pull out the LCD they're gonna come out. Okay, so there's like a little space where you're gonna drag them out. Once they come out, you have completed the unassembly. Okay, so again guys, take your time, stop this video, review it, play it again, you know, take your time, put it in slow motion, whatever you have to do, but make sure you do this carefully, okay? I did this a little faster, of course, because I have done many iPhone 4S's take aparts, as well as all iPhone generations, so I pretty much have the, you know, the patience for this. But again, make sure if you're doing this for the first time or working on a Chinese replica, take your time, okay? Again, this is only will work for the Goophone Y5 that I got from AndroidForCheap.com, okay? So this is the take apart directions. Obviously, the assembly will be the reverse of this video. So again, please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.